Welcome everybody, and this is our Quinary call. It's our Saturday morning Sunrider call, and today we're covering the topic of Quinary because I found over the years that we never have enough time to talk about Quinary, and it's just sort of added in there, and yet it's one of the basic programs. I was introduced to Sunrider by Trudy Stolten, who can't be on the call today, unfortunately, but well, she's doing a health show, and so are many other people this morning. It seems to be a popular morning for doing Sunrider presentations and health shows. But I'm really happy with, that we have the participants today that we do. And I want to thank Randy for asking me to do this. And I want to start out with doing a screen share with a PowerPoint that I created. And let's see if this works. First one includes you, Diana. I don't know if you knew that that would be there.
Diana, could I interject? Could you,
yes.
Could you put it on slideshow so that we don't see the stuff on the left?
That's a smart idea. Okay. Okay, there. So anyway, this is Diana Harrington and Diana Walker together, and we're in our outfits that we go through the manufacturing facilities. So Sunrider Manufacturing, we get to tour once a year in the summer when we go to convention in California. And here's Randy with me another time, and it's fun and educational, and we all love the sun breeze room because you get to smell sun breeze all down the hall, and it's just very powerful knowing that we have our own manufacturing facilities, that this is not outsourced, which like 90% of the companies are outsourcing and buying the same products just in different formats. We are really, really, really unique. And you can see how unique we are here. We've had a lot of fun at Sunrider conventions. And here's Marlis. I don't think she can get on the call today. I'm not sure. And there's Randy being crazy. And Trudy, she looks awesome with the glasses. And then there's Jim, yay! And Randy again, and then myself in the corner. So there is always so much fun, and we have another convention coming up this time in Las Vegas in September. So it's just a lot of fun. Now, this is Quinary. This is the older packaging, because now they've Wendy Chan just updated the packaging. So we have, so you'll see different bottles in some of my other slides because those are the newer bottles. But this shows you, it comes in capsules and also in the packaged form. The art of herbal science. So the expertise, the self-manufacturing, the extraction and concentration are all unique to Sunrider. We are so fortunate. We have doctors as the founders, and Tei-Fu Chen, who is the founder of Sunrider. He's a world-renowned herbalist with a degree in pharmacy, and Oilin Chen is a Western-trained medical doctor, and Ruben Chan is a medical doctor and acupuncturist, and then Eric Chan is an organic chemist. And so we have all of these experts behind all the formulas that we have. And Quinary was one of the original formulas based on ancient manuscripts, and it comes in 100 capsules or 10-pack of powder. 1 pack equals 10 capsules, and it comes in 60 packs. And then there's also Liquify, which I've hardly used, but somebody on here may have a story about that during the call. So that is another blend. It doesn't have exactly the same herbs, but it has the same effects. And this is one thing that is, I love about Sunrider. It's so unique, and it is based on the 5 elements: fire, metal, earth, water, and wood. So we have 5 different formulas. 5 is a really important number in Chinese history and medicine. And we don't have to understand this, because I don't, but I like the fact that this comes from yin and yang. And that just means yin or nourishing, and yang for cleansing, and out, and it's for balance for the whole body. And once again, you can see how in depth these studies have been, going back thousands of years, and based on the elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. But like I say, we don't have to know about these, but I find it interesting. But it is a find it and fix it formula. And under the philosophy of regeneration, often Tei-Fu Chen will talk about how in Eastern, somebody has their phone, I think somebody needs to be muted. So this, like 5 horses, here you only see a picture of 2 horses, but consider 5 horses drawing a chariot. If one horse runs too fast or too slow, it will tip the balance of the chariot, and therefore the chariot can only run smoothly when the horses run in harmony. So Eastern medicine is based on that philosophy of interdependence. And it's like, if you draw circles, in Western medicine, here would be like the immune system, here would be the digestive system and circulatory system, and they're all separate. And in Eastern medicine, they're all interlinked like this. And so that's how 5 circles of 5 formulas are linked together in Eastern medicine, and we get the advantage of that. So the next one, this is really important. Anger weakens your liver, grief weakens your lungs, worry weakens your stomach, stress weakens your heart and brain, fear weakens your kidneys. This is fascinating, and I got this just from somebody online, but it is based, this is what a lot of the formulas are based on in Sunrider, and particularly the Quinary. So first, I want to talk about alpha-20C. Does anyone have a story about alpha-20C? This is for the immune system.
Okay. Well, many people will know that I had fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome. And of course, I was very, very sick from that. And this was one of the main products that actually helped me to get stronger and better. So, yeah.
Fabulous. Now, Diana, did you have the capsules, or did you have the? At that time with the alpha-20C, I think I took the capsules. Yeah. With Quinary, I always take the powder, and with that one, I think I took the capsules. And I took many of them every day for a number of months, and you know, it really did make a difference. And to this day, if I think I'm getting a cold or something, or I'm around somebody that has it, I do some alpha-20C. I have it in the packages now, and I make a tea with it, with the Cali, and I drink it. And you know, a lot of people just had this cold type thing here in Edmonton, and it was lasting. If they were lucky, it only lasted a week, and usually it lasted 2, even 3 weeks. Mine lasted 3 days. And that was the first one I'd had in years, but you know, but Roy got the cold, so I think I got it from him. That is so powerful. Thank you, and you look amazing. And
How'd it go, Roy? How'd it go?
Good.
Yeah, you know, I would just like to mention, just put our attention on that last slide you had of the different organs relating to different emotions. And that's one of the things I think is very powerful from the Chinese system, is that if you actually feed all your organs, your emotions will be better too. And a lot of people report that. They just feel more calm, more happy. And so that's a good thing.
Fabulous. Yeah, exactly, Randy. And I think you've studied this maybe more than anyone on the call, not just about emotions, but about Quinary and like Eastern philosophy and yeah, how everything affects our body. And it's not just our body, it's our mind, our emotions, everything. So,
Right. In the same way that you showed those circles in Western medicine being separate, they in Western, they figure that our psychology is different than our physiology, and it's not.
Exactly. Yeah, that's so profound. And yet now Western medicine is sort of trying to copy that
Right, yeah.
and be more holistic, which is great. But this is, for us with Sunrider, we've had that advantage for 36 years. So we're very fortunate. So I'm going to share the screen again, and let me see if it takes off. Okay, where were we? Okay, down here, Alpha 20C. Okay, so I will go back to the slideshow from the current slide. There we go. And then we will go to the immune system. So we don't make claims, of course, and Quinary is a find it and fix it formula. But signs of imbalance in your immune system can be all of these things on this page. So we don't have to go into each one, but some people find different support for those systems nutritionally. And this is straight from the product fact sheet. And what I find really fascinating now is that Sunrider actually is talking about T cells. And of course, I think most of you know that they're white blood cells that find and fight germs and infections in our body. They are an important part of our immune system. And our immune system fights illnesses, infections, germs, and parasites by trying to get rid of any unfamiliar cells in our body. And then this is the wood element. Isn't that fascinating? And then it says when it's out of balance, you can become aggressive and impulsive. So when it's in, that's amazing. And when it's in balance, your liver, it drives ambition, courage, and resourcefulness in your life. So I am so grateful for Alpha 20C. And the 20 is the 20th letter of the alphabet is a T. So this is a little code for T cells. And yeah, this just goes a little more into it. And you can see that I really I did a little bit more research in the last few days. And I see that the emotion of anger, and also I saw resentment is included in this. So, and it's affecting your liver. So I thought that was fascinating. Now I want to talk about Assimilate for the digestive system. And here are signs of imbalance, and the supporting food is Assimilate, or AD as it's called in Canada. And now I'll stop the share, and I think Diana had something to talk about on this one.
Yes, it's me again. But this was the main thing I was supposed to talk about. If anyone has seen my story, I was one of these people who had extremely bad digestion. In fact, there was a point where I was down to eating only 12 foods a day, and I had gut aches all the time. And when I went to allergy tests in England, they told me I was allergic to practically everything. Well, if I was allergic to everything, then why is it that today I can eat almost everything? You know what I mean? So I wasn't allergic really, but my digestive system wasn't working very well. So when I first came to Sunrider, with Randy, he got me to do a vitality analysis. Don't buy anything yet, just get your vitality analysis. I did that, and the product that came up as a really high number one was AD. And so I took that all the time. Even though I had fibromyalgia, I didn't do that first. The first things first. Not my immune system, but my digestive system was first, because I couldn't get things in. So I did that, and for a few months or maybe 4 months, and then my digestion. I've never had extreme digestive problems ever since I got better. So I'm grateful to AD a lot, and I never take it individually now. I take it because it's in Quinary, but I don't specifically take AD ever because I don't need it.
Thank you, Diana. That's a perfect example. And I was going to ask you how much, if you take it separately now. Some people use it as a tea, the capsules, open the capsules of it and have it as a tea. It has a very nice flavor. But you also can, of course, use your, right now I have a full package of Quinary in here and a package of Peach Fortune Delight and some stevia. And that's one of the morning drinks. You do too?
No, but I tend to eat the Quinary right out of the package because I like the taste of it so much. I just want it. I have it about 3 times a day.
Wonderful. That's the perfect example of the fact that we can use like you started out centering in on the digestive system, and now you don't need the AD separately because the Quinary is find it and fix it, and you just love it. So that's great. Anyone else would like to talk about AD?
Yeah, I'll just touch on it, Diana. You know, it's been all the Quinary formulas individually. I always experiment with them, and I know I've used it myself because I had a lot of digestive issues when I came into Sunrider, and just eating the Quinary by itself looked after most. But sometimes it's nice to have that extra AD. But this is more of an animal story that my dog has, Katie, she's a little miniature schnauzer runt, and runts often have a bit of a glitch, and hers is digestion. And so anytime where she would start having diarrhea, I just give her a capsule of AD, fixes her right up. And then but 2 or 3 years ago, she wound up with leaky heart valve. And so it was kind of a big ordeal. We had to get her on a tiny little bit of medication. But she's on a Quinary capsule 3 times a day and a sprinkle of Nuplus, and it's just amazing. And the medication, I think, was irritating her liver just a little bit, and the vet said that would probably be the problem. So I started giving her, because sometimes she'd wake up in the night with diarrhea and stuff. 1 AD a day fixes her right up. It's amazing. So there you go, AD.
That's great.
That is super. Thanks, Jim. I have heard the story before, but not in such detail. And I know your little dog. She's a sweetie. So, wow. How old is she now?
She is 13 and a half now.
Yeah. Wow. Yes. You look after her well. It's a girl, right?
Yeah, it's female. It's amazing how in the beginning, it's kind of funny when I was telling the people at the vet office that, oh yeah, I got to run some herbal foods, and to get the eye rolling. But now she just keeps going and going and going, and they're just like, "What are you doing with that dog?" Right? It's been over 2 years now since that problem was diagnosed, and she's just doing amazing. In fact, that she seems like she's regenerating, she's getting better. Definitely.
She's a lucky dog to have you. That's awesome. Thank you. Okay, so I will go back to sharing the screen. Okay. There we go. So, wow, this even helps our pets. Now, so, and I did put in the ingredient highlights. It's just, I'm so excited and happy that Sunrider is putting more information out, and so you can all find these on your product fact sheets. But I just wanted to have it here to remind me, of some of the basics, and also if the capsules are opened and mixed with water, Assimilated AD has a pleasant cinnamon taste, and so we can use the capsules or just have the Quinary every day. And CAD, your stomach, and is associated with anxiety, worry, overthinking. So I find that really fascinating because I need that really badly. Now we'll go on to the Conco. So this is for the respiratory system. And I've had many, customers, friends, people who have found that the Conco makes a difference. One lady fairly recently had trouble climbing stairs, and her, she couldn't breathe very well, and she just started on 5 capsules a day. And within a couple of weeks, she couldn't believe how well it worked with her lungs. So this is associated with the metal element. In Chinese medicine, health is the balance of the 5 elements, and metal is associated with lungs and large intestines. So, and it can negatively, the metal imbalance can negatively affect the respiratory and digestive systems, as well as the health of the skin. Imbalance can also adversely affect the mood, resulting in feelings of grief and sadness. So right here you can see that the key organ is the lungs right there at the bottom, and emotion is grief, sadness, depression. So it's just phenomenal how much everything is intertwined in our bodies. So did anyone have a story for Conco in particular? Okay, not so far. So I will move on to LifeStream. And LifeStream is for your circulatory system. And I have a short story on that. Was recently, in February, I was going to be flying to the Cayman Islands, where I go every February to visit my sons that live there. And 5 days before I was flying, I started to get sort of lights in my left eye, and it felt like a little string was hanging there. So I was worried, was this, something really serious? And I got in within 2 hours to see the ophthalmologist, and they did tests, and she said that it's okay, you can come back and have testing later, because it's not serious, but you should have a full test, because I hadn't done one for 10 years, and there's glaucoma in my family. My mom was almost blind at 89, and so I just took a ton of LS, and she had said that probably it'll take at least 3 to 6 months before that will go away, and it was gone in a week. So the LS I'm sure made the difference. And then when I did go back, my pressures are amazing. So I'm fine, but the LS helped me through that. So does somebody have a story? No.
I'd just like to say a little bit about LS. This winter, I developed surface phlebitis in my leg, and I've had this occasionally, but it's never been this bad. And it went right up into my groin. Well, I had bad veins ever since I was nursing. And so I hit the LS really hard. I was doing at least 10 a day. And I was just looking at the leg this morning and amazed at how you can't even see those veins now, where they used to protrude for years. Now they're not even visible. And along with that, using the LS, then my eyes also, the dryness in my eyes, and that also improved. So it's not that it just works on one system. The circulation is total body, so it works on the whole thing. It also helps with bringing the blood pressure down too, using LS. But you do have to use enough of it to make a difference, and use it long enough to make a difference too, because it is a very large system in the body.
Thank you so much, Marlis. That's really a great story and a great example. And thanks for reminding us that, yes, you do need to have enough to make a difference for your body to regenerate. So anyone else? If anyone else would like to talk, that's great. And otherwise, I'll go back to sharing the screen. So with LifeStream, look at this. It's fascinating. So it's the kidneys, but you also see the word ears here for LifeStream. but I'm sure I've read somewhere for eyes, and that's why I started taking it, which is LS, is the Canada name for it. So kidneys are the key organ, and fear and shock. That's very interesting. And now we'll go to Primeagen. And Primeagen works on the whole endocrine system, the hormonal system. And I think this is why Trudy would often ask me, have you had your quinary today? when we would be working together at the hospital, because that's where I got introduced to all the Sunrider formulas through Trudy Stolting. And we were seeing each other a lot every day for work, and also every evening and weekend. So she got to know me really well, and I had a little bit of PMS going on. So she would say, have you had your quinary today? And so this is a powerful formula, and it's the fire element. In Chinese medicine, health is the balance of the 5 elements. It says that once again. And fire is associated with the small intestine and tongue, and its characteristics are joy, action, and motivation. And a lot of people say that when they use quinary in general, that they have more even and balanced energy. And I think that's true. So the key organ is the heart and emotion. Now, it says joy here. And I read in some of the documentation that it can be overjoy, and that can be stressful, right? When something is just like more joyful than normal, there's the highs and lows of emotion. So it's interesting that this works with that: stress, hate, impatience. So I'm going to stop sharing and see if anyone has anything on Primeagen or just quinary in general.
You know, this formula is very diverse because a lot of allergies can be nervous system or they can be immune system, but the two work together, and it can help a lot with moods and energy and sexual ability, and so it just goes on and on and on. And that's why quinary is so important, because we just don't know. And sometimes, you know, you just eat quinary, then you know you're getting it. And I was going to mention to Diane as a joke that I patented that statement, find it, fix it formula. And, the reason I started saying that is because I could tell when I was talking to people that they just didn't get it. And I was like, well, imagine, you know, if you could just eat something that would just find the problem and then help your body fix it. And that's kind of quinary. It just helps balance and self-regulate.
I love it. Yeah. And I wanted to give you credit. I had a note to myself, make sure and say that that's where I heard it from first. So thank you.
Oh, no, it's totally fine. It just makes me laugh when I hear you guys saying some of the statements that I use. That shows how duplication works.
We're good students. You bet. I learned everything from you. That's awesome.
And it's interesting that PA is part of the fire, you know, because if you imagine that your body having more fire, more vigor, and so it does several things. And I always remember Dean Black's story, and I know many of you may not know who that is, but he helped Dr. Chin start Sunrider. So while Dr. Chin was learning English, Dr. Dean Black was kind of out educating people about what Dr. Chin had created. And when they first met, Dr. Dean Black had all this hay fever, these allergies, and Jen says they were going both to the university at Brigham Young, I believe, and Jen said, "Oh, no need to suffer from that, you know, here." And he'd give him this bag of herbs, and then he pulls him back and he goes, "Wait a minute, are you married?" And Dean Black said, "Yeah, I've got 9 kids or something like that." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "What did you ask if I'm married?" And he said that was the PA formula before it was in a bottle. That's just when Chin was just working on the formula, because it helps with not only allergies and things like that, it can, right? But it also helps with the reproductive system. So anyways.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Gail, I wonder do you have any little story to add or any information?
Sure. Well, Bill had asthma before Sunrider, and he was in asthma studies because it was so bad. So we started on Sunrider, and he was taking not just the Quinary, but New Plus and Cali and Fortune, and he was eating 3 packages of Quinary a day for about I guess 6 months. His asthma was totally out of, like, really, really bad. And then we thought, well, we'll just cut down to 1 package of Quinary. And he started wheezing again. So then we knew we had to up it again. And he upped it for a couple more months, and then he was fine. But it just goes to show the body wasn't ready yet to heal itself. So he needed that extra. And then now he just eats, 1 package a day. We both do. So
thank you, Gail. Yeah, and that's it. We all have to find what's right for our own body, and it's just experimenting and having more or having less, and find the right balance for each of us. Mm-hmm. And some people have said that they use a lot more. I think Randy has said that that you use more when you're traveling.
Right. Yeah. Diane, I would just give you a heads up. We've got 5 minutes left before we get cut off.
Okay, I will go back.
He has no signs of asthma.
What's that?
No signs of asthma. Doctor said he'd always have asthma. Gone.
I love it. I love it, Gail. Thank you for sharing. That's fantastic. We are so fortunate. This is Quinary. I think everybody in the world should be on it. Okay, so I'm going to. So yeah, these are just pictures of. Oh, this one I love is this little girl who loves Quinary so much. She eats it right out of the package, just like Diana. And some people notice a bitter taste, especially if they're used to the Western diet and they're not used to bitter herbs. But a lot of times people get used to it or love it within a few days or a few months. And I love it too, actually, straight out of the package. And
Diana, can I just say something about the liquid 5? And when you put a picture of a child up there.
I love it. Please do.
I worked with a 3-year-old child that came to me pretty well in an asthmatic attack. And her mother wasn't sure. She should have taken her to the hospital or just what. She was quite nervous about it because this child had been on antibiotics for a year and had asthma really bad. Anyhow, I sat her down and we had a tea party, and I gave her some liquid 5, a whole vial of liquid 5, and some Fortune Delight. And it was amazing there, just sitting and watching her breathing settle down from being really labored to smoothing right out. And that is how quick the liquid 5 worked for this child. That's the equivalent of 10 capsules, but in the liquid 5, it's amazing for kids with allergies and that.
I believe liquid 5 has more alpha-20C in it. Am I right, Randy?
It is more for the immune system. It's great for kids. It tends to come up more for kids than adults.
Yeah, my granddaughter, when she was a baby, she was using liquid 5. Sorry, Marlies.
Oh, that's fine. So she went on. She still gets it occasionally, apparently, but she works with horses and she's allergic to horses. But she has used the liquid 5 now for quite a few years, and that's what she uses. But it was so dramatic to watch this child's breathing improve in such a short time.
It's interesting. I know we're running out of time, but it's interesting.
2 minutes left.
Because another one of my distributors, her son, he had asthma, and she swore that the liquid was the one that really worked for him. For his, he would get pneumonia once a year, and she always used liquid 5. She goes, "That's the magic for him." And I always thought, "Oh, it's all the same, but just in liquid form." So it's interesting you mentioned that it's specifically for immune. This old dog's still learning new things. Look at that.
That's great. And I got a notice online that said that that they were extending the 40 minutes, but we'll aim for the 40 minutes anyway, which means very, very soon this will be cut off. So I'm just going back to sharing. There we go. So I just wanted to put this slide in because Quinary is part of the Sun Pack. And so most of us, or I think all of us on the call, use daily. We eat our New Plus, our Fortune Delight Kelly, and our Sunny Dew or Sun Nectar, and we have the Quinary, either in capsule, or most of us probably use powder form. I used only 3 capsules a day. That's all I could afford 22 years ago. And I, with a family and everything, but the 3 capsules really, really helped. But I'm happy that I can have a full package every day now. It helps a lot. So that's the Chinese spent 5,000 years figuring out exactly what whole foods the body needs. And so Sunrider is based on the philosophy of regeneration and NBC, nourish, balance, and cleanse. And here is the final slide. If you could change one aspect of your life, what would it be? And a lot of people say health.
Right.
Well, thank you everybody for coming. I just love this Quinary meeting, and everybody has so much to contribute, and we all learned a lot, I think, and I love the stories. So thank you so much. And our next call will be May the 25th, on Saturday, May the 25th at 9 a.m. Thank you again.
Thanks, Diana, for putting this on.
Bye, everybody.